Good morning, all. It's a beautiful Friday morning. Actually, it's Good Friday. I wanted to show you something because I compost all the time. This is one of my composts. And I do the lazy composting. See all this? I used to go crazy and compost and turn and wait, and I don't wait anymore. Let me show you what I start to do. Let's walk over here real quick because I'm doing these three all at the same time. I just throw kitchen scraps in there. These are shavings from the bottom of the tanks of the birds that I take care of. These are from baby birds, so I know what's in those shavings. I used to throw them away, and I thought, my goodness, I feed the best hand feeding formula. I make it. It's got everything good. Well, if it's going through them, I want it to continue to stay here. So everything's dumped in here. These are three I'm doing at the same time. I'm actually doing more than three. When this gets about half full, I will then top it with good soil. It's already full of worms. And how I move the worms here, there probably won't be any worms here. Not on this one because I moved it. Actually, there is, but it's hard to see on the camera. Is I just start dumping, keep it wet. Do not let it dry out. So keep it damp. When I water the garden, I water all my composting tubs. Let's walk over here real quick. Hope I'm not swinging you around and making you all dizzy. But see, let's walk down here. I know I still have to rip so much apart and start new gardening. We've had parties and stuff here, birthday parties for my grandkids, so I haven't had time. But see, this is one. This one's pretty much ready. It's already started growing its own stuff. Let's see what I could show you here. See, there's worms down there. Oh, they took off so fast. Look at all the earthworms. I use everything when I'm potting. I use plastic bags, but I can throw those away now. See the earthworms? What I do, and I think I've made a video on this, is I put some pots together and I put stuff in the pot. This has got broken down wood chips and stuff, and throw some Swiss chard or whatever's growing, volunteer plants, and I throw them in the pots. And then I move my pots around. So I don't have to move worms anywhere when I start a new compost. I know these things are giant. And I did the same thing there. But I don't have to look for worms. I just move a pot because it's full of earthworms. And last year, I did the same thing here. This is a dresser I stopped in the street and picked up and loaded it, just did compost in it. I threw all kitchen scraps, yard scraps, from the garden, leaves, weeds, everything. And then as soon as it was halfway full, I just started putting some other stuff, broken down wood chips and different things in it. I'm going to redo all these too. But I want to go back to the other one because what I want to show you, and these are from the 99-cent store. They're good, but you have to keep watering them. They dry out. So I want to come back here and show you that this has not broken down yet. I put some broken down composted wood chips in the other day, and look at everything growing. These are squash. I know what they are. They're zucchini, so I'm probably going to leave them and thin them out. You got tomatoes growing down there. I could throw whatever else I want in here. I really wanted to put a little bit of nice Dr. Earth or something, potting soil on top, or some broken down, really good broken down wood chips. And I didn't have a chance. This is onion leaves from dinner the other night. Everything wants to grow. In fact, it will grow before there's anything in it. I started throwing, like I said, the compost on top. But obviously, you don't need soil to grow in, because when it grows in compost, they're just so big. Now, I will say, you cannot do this everywhere. I've got a friend in New York, and I found out, in the winter especially, in the spring, it's cold. Nothing will break down. She told me she can put a bucket out there or her compost tub out there, and it could take her almost 2 years. I don't know what she's doing, but that's what she told me. Here, we don't have compost barrels or anything. We figure out where we want to start growing. We start throwing the compost in. It's kind of the lazy way of composting. We start throwing in all our scraps. and then we just grow on top of it. By the time these squash plants get big, everything in here will be totally broken down. So I could move it, I could leave it, compost on top again, because it will slowly sink down, and then you could start the process right here again for a few years right on top. But it's worked so well for me. I've done it in small pots. I've got some on my deck that I had pots this size. Just throw kitchen scraps in it, and everything started to grow. And then I just put a little bit of extra soil, and I don't have really rock dust, but we live in an area where there's certain areas on the property, and I know where you can dig and you find fossils. It's really weird because look how high up we are. Just to think that these mountains around me were once in the ocean. But anyways, you find fossils and shells inside the rock. So I crush that up and I put that in. Or I'll take dirt. I'll dig some really clay dirt and toss it in, which I have not done here yet. But I wanted to show you that this is my lazy man composting way. And it works. It works really, really good. Just get a tub. I picked up, like I said, I picked up these at the Goodwill. I walked in there and they had a whole bunch the other day. I shouldn't say the other day, but the other week. They were like $2 a piece. And my husband drilled the holes. I guess I'm going to leave them here for the summer. I wasn't sure where to put them. And these are getting close to maybe turning if I want, and then putting something on top. I think I still want to get a lot more in there. But it's just amazing. And then I'll get some more pots. Then I do this too. This is celery that came up on its own. I have pots around, or I stuck a celery in it. And it's just, I don't have to put something in a tub and turn it and do anything with it, and then try at my age to schlep it all over the yard and figure out where I want it, because that's what happened in the beginning. And here was one of my first ones. But it was just to the point where I have to do this differently. And it was kind of also like, I saw a show once in Australia where an old man and his wife, they compost right on the ground. So if they know where they want to plant in the spring, he would dig a trench, and just all winter they just compost on the ground. They just fill up a whole area on the ground, and they cover it up, and then they plant. And I thought, well, gee, we have warm weather, and everything here breaks down really, really fast. So I thought, well, maybe I should do the same thing or try it. But not on I did it on the ground too, but I don't want to do it on the ground. I do it in tubs. See, there's more tubs there. Oh, here's more tubs here. This one's all set up. I just planted carrot seeds in there. So we'll see what happens in here. And again, there's a tub there. This was brought here for worms, but I might just leave it for now. It's not in the way. It gives a little shade to the plants. But I saw him do it, and I thought, I'm going to try it, and it's working. It works for me. I don't know if it'll work for everybody, but it does work for me. So just a thought, some people say, like my brother, oh, I'm not going to compost. I don't need a thing in the yard. And he didn't want to do it, and that's fine. So I came up with this idea. And I tried it, and I like it. So it's worth a shot. If there's somebody out there that just doesn't want to bother composting. Oh, look, you can enjoy this with me. Look at that. Oh, that's cool. And I sure hope I got that on the camera, because I'm now using the screen and not the eyepiece. But that was it, just a thought, because there are some people that will not compost. They just don't want to set up a tub. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to drag it around. So try just setting up the tub you want to plant in. Try it, see if it works for you. If you want, you can put some soil or something on the bottom and then start throwing in your kitchen scraps, whatever you've got, shredded paper even. And then as it starts, it will break down on its own. Flies will come, different things will come. And then see what happens. Maybe you'll like it better than what you're doing, and maybe you'll say, she's crazy. This is not worth it. Doesn't work. Well, works for me. Everybody have a great day. Have a good Easter. And take care.